lord, are we having fun yet? Because I am. Blue Jays win 6-5 over the Boston Red Sox in the middle game of a 3-game set at Skydome. Holy crap, what an ending. So much happened in this game, but rather than go through the blow-by-blow, let's talk about the key figures here. First, obviously, Kevin Gausman came in and pitched a whale of a game. This is his 4th start of the season. Texas, New York, Boston, Boston. This guy has hit the ground running, needing no time to get reacclimated to the American League East. He has been sharp right from the get-go and never sharper than he was tonight. Oh my goodness, his pitches were all working for him tonight. In his first couple starts, he had a hard time hitting the top of the zone with his fastball. No trouble with that tonight. He was painting it. His go-to knockout pitch is usually his splitter, which falls off the table. Guys swing right over the top of it. Much heavier slider usage in this one than the splitter, but the end result was the same. I think he had 9 strikeouts at the end. Yeah, he was dealing. This guy has been absolutely as advertised through his first 4 starts, and that's not a lot. There's still a lot of season to go, but so far, very encouraging stuff. Along with the starts from Manoah and Barrios, yeah, I think we've really got something with the starting rotation. Second, Santiago Espinal. I'm running out of superlatives for this guy. He makes every play on defense. He is a clutch hitter. He gets on base all the time, turning the lineup over for the big boys. He is an invaluable part of this team right now. I mean, Teo and Jano are still out. Lourdes sat out today. Bo's still not looking like himself. And this lineup looks pretty thin in a hurry. Collins at the 4, Tapia at the 6. Bradley Zimmer is in this lineup every day right now. That is just not pretty. So with the team scuffling offensively, not really finding its rhythm just yet, and feeling a little thin and undermanned, having Santiago Espinal completely level up into a way better hitter than we've ever seen him be before is an absolute godsend. Hell, at this point, why not? Bat him clean up. Let him punish people for walking Vlad. Damn, at this point, I believe he can do it. Third, on the negative side, the bullpen once again was very strong today with one mighty exception. Yes, I'm afraid it's true. My man, my crush, Jimmy Garcia, had a pretty bad outing. Gausman left with the lead after a really strong start. Richards had an excellent inning of relief, and then Garcia came in and absolutely lost the plot. It was rough. His pitches all play, and they're all at the bottom of the zone, and honestly, he had pretty decent location that-wise, but they were all out over the plate. The really crushing one was the RBI double by Trevor Story, because that was actually a pretty good pitch. It was kind of below the strike zone, a little bit more of the plate, but that's a very difficult to hit pitch, and Story crushed it. And honestly, I'm going to take a minute and look at this from the Red Sox perspective because they're having a really hard time scoring runs. You think the Blue Jays are scuffling offensively? Wait till you see what the Red Sox are doing right now. Like, they were down 2-1 and we're probably sitting around thinking, man, can we even get 2 more runs to make this thing competitive? They did. They broke through against a really tough reliever who was having a great start to his season. They put up 5 runs. That's a lot for this team right now. So for Garcia, I mean, you want to keep holding down teams that are scuffling. You don't want to give them any life. Unfortunately, in this case, you did. Some of it was just weak contact that was just unfortunately placed, but there were a lot of hard hit balls. This was his worst outing of the season. I have no doubt he'll recover, but for right now, not looking too great, Jimmy. Ryan Barucki had a nice inning of work, and so did Jordan Romano with a lockdown 10th inning when the team needed it. That was huge. And then 2 more guys I want to talk about to tell the story of this game, and you can't go any further without mentioning George Springer. It really seems to be a thing. There are just some players in every sport, and everyone can pretty much name who they are, who just seem to rise to big moments. But when the Blue Jays were pursuing George Springer before last offseason, one of the words that kept coming up when they described him was clutch. He has a well-earned reputation as being the guy that you want up in big moments because he's more likely to deliver than anybody else. In fact, it was against this same Red Sox team last year that George hit that infamous 3-run home run to win a game the Blue Jays should have lost during that big run to a playoff spot. There was a video last year circulating around of George hitting that home run and then the camera following him as he swaggers for a couple steps to trying to look cool, you know, before finally jumping into his little boy jumping and celebrating routine that he does so well. Just a magical moment for a magical hitter. And then he goes tonight and does it again. Down to their final out with a runner on second base. Who was that runner, you ask? Why, it was Santiago Espinal, indeed. Down to your last out, who would you rather have at the plate but George Springer to try to give you life and give you a chance to win the game? And boy howdy, he did that in the most dramatic fashion with an absolute bomb to dead center field. There was that shot of Diekman with his head hung low in the Boston dugout. And you really felt for him there because it almost felt fated that that kind of thing would happen. You'll have to take my word for it, but I said to my fiance as I'm watching the game, yeah, I think George is going to get him right here. And that's not because I have powers of prognostication. It's because, man, that's just what George Springer does. So the game is tied at 5, but one of the key reasons why it was tied at 5 is because of the last guy I want to talk about, Raimel Tapia. If you have like kind of like a mood-o-meter about how you feel about every Jays player on this team, you might have like, you feel good about this guy, George Springer. You might have like a, I feel bad about this guy. Today, maybe Jimmy Garcia, but maybe more generally, Trent Thornton, say. I know, he's been better, but just stick with me here. Raimel Tapia is like pretty much right in the middle. He's made some good defensive plays and he gets on base every once in a while, but for the most part, I don't see him as a huge upgrade over Randall Grichuk, for whom he was traded. And considering that Randall can every once in a while run into one and drive in some runs and get some extra bases, I kind of think maybe I might have preferred Randall on this team. But he showed me something this game. A slashing double in the 9th inning, bring in the 3rd Toronto run. That was a tough at-bat against a lefty reliever, and he came through. And he came through by getting the ball in the air and actually driving it instead of just kind of pounding it into the ground like he usually does. So that was a nice moment. And then again in the 10th, bases are loaded, infield's in, you need to get the ball in the air there, and Raimel Tapia is pretty much the least qualified person to do that in the whole club. And yet, once again, he made an adjustment, was able to loft the ball out to left field deep enough to score Bichette with the winning run. That shows an acumen for getting the ball in the air that I didn't really know he had. And that tantalizes with the prospect of, if this guy can get the ball in the air, he hits the ball hard enough that you can unlock a whole bunch of doubles, maybe even home runs out of that bat, if he could just get the ball in the air even a little. He was able to do that twice in big situations tonight. Really showed me something with that one. So thank you very much, Tapia. You're a little bit up on the roll, just a little bit up. A little bit up. This, I think, was a devastating loss for the Boston Red Sox. I mean, for a team that can't score runs right now, scoring 5 runs against a really tough pitching staff, a divisional opponent, you're in great position to win the game. You have it. To watch that slip away at a time when you really, really needed a win, that's got to feel tough. But I don't give a damn about that, because the Blue Jays just showed once again that they will never quit, they will never give up, they will scratch and claw until the last out is recorded. That is a wonderful trait to have in a baseball team, especially one that has aspirations of going into the postseason and doing some damage when you get there. I like winning games 14-3 as much as the next guy, maybe even a little bit more. Probably just the same amount, actually. It's pretty universally liked. But this stretch the Jays have been on, winning close game after close game, nail-biter after nail-biter, and refusing to give in even once. Oh boy, this is inspiring stuff. And really fun. This team is inspiring. This team is electric. This team is entertaining as all hell. This team hits you right in the feels because they care about each other and love each other and support each other and are good. Furthermore, they're good. I don't want to say they're going to do the thing, because you're not allowed to say that they're going to do the thing, especially not in April, but really never. You're not allowed to say they're going to do the thing. But I think they're going to do something special. So, go buy tickets and go see it. I know I'm going to. Okay, that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you very much for watching this channel. I will see you tomorrow for the closeout game. That's right, baby. Alek Manoah. Let's get this thing done. I'll see you tomorrow.